Hi guys, put yourself in this situation. You go to a foreign country with a big dream of starting your own business and sending maybe money back to your own country, maybe to have branches of the same business. But since you're in a foreign country, you are expecting hefty returns, maybe because this country does not have any taxes. Now, only for your business to be snatched by somebody else. My name is Catherine, and those of you who are here for the first time, I do tell real life stories, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My story today is about how some countries in the Gulf, snatch businesses, thriving businesses from their owners. Reason? Because of a system called the kafala system. The kafala system is a system normally practiced in most of the Gulf countries, as in their owners, locals of a country, normally in most of the Arab countries, the locals of the country are given a permit to bring in their own employees from other countries. So they're in control of them, they own them, you know. In other countries, you don't own your employees. They can go away anytime they want. You don't have a lot of control over them. It's like they're free. But in some Gulf countries, with the kafala system, or kafil, they will own you. They will bring you to their country and they will control you. You cannot leave your job anytime you want. They can snatch the job away from you anytime they like, and you have no say because they don't have unions. So many things. You need some number of years after they've snatched your job from you before you can come back to their country under another kafala system. So this is how they operate. You cannot just start your own business in that country because it doesn't belong to you, remember? And own the business 100%. In your own country, if you have a business, it's yours. All you have to do is to pay for the license. Or if you go to other countries that don't have the kafala system and you want to own a business, all you have to do is to pay for a work permit to work in that country, but the business is all yours. But in the kafala system, 50% of the profits that you make have to belong to a local person who will be your sponsor for that business, because you cannot just register a business under yourself. Who are you? This is not your country. So today's story, I'm going to tell you of what happened to one of the bigger businesses. For this place, it could be just like one of the small businesses. This business was a very thriving business. It had really bloomed. And of course, it was a branded business. A brand, if you have a brand, it means that you're well known. This brand is well known. If somebody hears that, oh, you belong to this brand, they want to buy your stuff because it's branded. It's well known, like Cavalli, Sephora, things like that, MAC makeups. And some spas are also branded. These big spas, international, they're also branded. But if you just have a local one, anybody else can own that. So this brand of a spa decides that now they're gonna have open their own brand in this one of these Gulf countries. And of course, it is a Gulf country, so kind of, they will have to enter into the system of the kafala, and they will have to have a sponsor, because they cannot just put their businesses, their brand in another foreign country and expect to get everything for themselves. Who are they? So, of course, they will need a sponsor. And this sponsor is a big sponsor in this country, in the Gulf. And they're very good sponsors because they are well known internationally. They have to provide housing, they have to provide tickets, salaries, and everything for anyone that they're sponsoring. But they're gonna get some hefty profits also from this brand, because there is an agreement, of course. If you're coming to start your business here, some local needs to have part of the profit. It will not just go to you alone. Who are you once again? So they sign up everything, and the business within a few years is really booming. They have like 60 plus employees in this business. Every year it's growing bigger and bigger. Of course, businesses always have some lows and highs, whether it's a very good one or not. And of course, the owners are giving them targets. If you don't reach targets, this target, very unreasonable targets, because most of the people who are the sponsors actually will not understand the business properly. So they will give unreasonable targets, because they also want to make a lot of money out of it. Remember, you don't own the thing alone, because you're in this country under the kafala system. So this business is given a target that is so high that it could not make. And they were being threatened, like, if you don't reach this, we will close it. We will close this business, and you will need to leave this country with your brand. Take it elsewhere. Now, these were the first signs of the business being in danger. But in reality, the owner had actually noticed that this business is actually doing very well. And he had ideas. He had actually wanted, this is now the real owner, in charge of the company that is sponsoring. He had noticed that he wanted actually to start his own similar brand of the spas. Not a similar brand, but a spa of his own. But if he had to start it locally, it means that it's not branded. And these people really love, these locals in the Gulf really love branded stuff, because they travel far and wide and they know what a brand means. So they don't like their own local stuff. They want something new from outside, something international. And this guy thought, there's no need of starting my own local when already I have a business here. I'm a sponsor of a business that has already thrived and is making millions. Why on earth would I need to start afresh? Import labor, pay more tickets, and buy more stuff, when already here there is a brand that is doing very well? Why should I do that? So the next they did was, the guy decided not to start his own spa, but give a notice to this other big spa that had been doing very well. Just tell them, I think your business is not doing so well, so we will bring in another brand, and we give you a notice of this time to move out. Bring in another brand which is a competitor of this brand. It's also an international brand. So they were like to bring in this other brand that will bring in more money, supposedly. But in reality, that was not the case. This other brand issue was just a cover-up. The main thing is they wanted the whole business for themselves without a brand, so that they don't have to share 50-50 between the brand and themselves. Instead of paying for the brand, they'll only deal with the money for paying the salaries of their employees. And that's it. They save the brand issue. And they were given a notice, like, we will be taking over the business within a few months. So the brand has to start moving out. Just like that, they build a business, used this brand to create a name for this spa, and then removed the brand after the spa had gained a lot of customers for them. And once they have signed, and once the brand has been known and so many customers are used to this place, it's very hard to change anything. It's very hard for the customers to move away, because for them, they're used to this kind of stuff. Funny enough, they did not even change the staff. So this staff that was there had been trained by this brand, so they had the high standard of this brand. They did not remove the staff. They just removed the brand, removed the top managers, and that was it. That was it. So it was like they have stolen, they have snatched the staff from the brand, they have snatched the business, they have snatched the customers, they have snatched everything. It was so pathetic. And so this brand had to pack its thing, remove its logos, take its products away, things like that, inform its members who had already signed up that it's no longer the brand there, hoping that probably the members will leave, but they stuck there because they're already used to it. And the standard was still the same because the staff was still the same. Imagine. It was such a sad thing. And the only thing they did was change the uniform of the staff. And that's it. The brand had been stolen. You don't own it. They can decide to remove you anytime and replace you with another brand, or just take you directly. No need for a brand, because then they don't have to pay for another brand, but they will still make the same amount of money. They'll make more money because they're not paying the brand. They're getting more money. This is just one of the examples of the business snatchers in the Gulf. Snatch your business because it's 50-50. They watch it. If it's doing well, they will snatch it. But I'm not saying some of them. There are some very good sponsors who will not even ask for a cent from the business that they have signed up for the owners. They will leave everything to them. Their work will just be to sign up for you so that you can run your business peacefully. They will not sign it. There's some thriving businesses here in the Gulf also that are doing very well without the interference of the sponsor. But there are some that the sponsors have snatched from the owners once they realize the business is doing very well. And the owner has no say because this is not their country. The sponsor is in control of everything, and he can even terminate your visas and send you packing back to your own country as he continues to run their own business, as he continues to run the business that you had an idea about. And funny enough, most of the business snatchers, these sponsors, they don't know how to run the business most of the time. When they just see the money, they get greedy and they want to have it on their own. But when the person who had the idea leaves, they have no idea of how to run it. And That's how most of these night businesses collapse in the Gulf. So, guys, if you want to start a business in the kafala system, the states, this is what can happen to you. These are the true stories that happen to people who have been snatched businesses from their sponsors, because you cannot just own a business on your own. Who are you? This is not your country. There you have to share 50-50. Or if you're lucky enough, your sponsor can leave it to you. You know, things like that. So guys, if you like my content, like, share, and subscribe. Ciao!